They're all factories. I always admire the culture of the native of the North America. They've gone a different way about the culture. These people, instead of every time they need something, bang, let's invent something. That's what we people are. Europeans, Middle East, more Europeans. Immediately, we need something, let's make it. Let's invent it. Indian North Americans, they said no. There's a problem, we have to adapt to it. I remember in Thunder Bay we were teaching that Billy Trout, a fellow became Baha'i. I saw him and his child sleeping in a condition that a big bowl of water was totally frozen. I told him, how could you sleep here, Billy? He says, I don't know. But he was right there. I said to myself, look, we're up spending $850 here for this Baha'i center. I was paying for the hydro, and then we bring all this woods here to start to have the fireplace, and we're sleeping around, and we're cold, and this Billy is sitting right there. I told him, you are Superman, man. There's something to learn from you guys. So, in my opinion, future of the humanity when it comes to residency, we will have to learn, and we will, to adapt much more. Maybe, get the genes from other people coming to us so we don't catch cold as fast. So we don't need cold water. We just don't need fridge. We don't need all these gadgets. Way simpler. These things, unfortunately, they install a place in your brain and it makes you tired, heavy. And the houses, they're all corners. I look at this house here, it's all corners. I think the contour of the body does not have a corner in it, like a sharp corner. I don't think there should be a sharp corner in any of these houses. That's a part of the depression we have. We're psychologically, depressed. At the houses in the past, there was hot, there was a little, teepee was something looked like people themselves. It was more like a nest of the animals. If biology is so much insisting that we're another animal in their kingdom, there's no kingdom of human, there's no kingdom of prophet, it's just the animal kingdom, we're all included in it, according to the psychologists of the West. Why don't they teach people that they should live in a house that is not and so much against your body? It's more like, the contour of the body. There's no sharp corner, there's no straight line. When I went to Shrine of the Bab, first time, sometimes in 1990, I think it was, a long time ago. This huge, beautiful golden Shrine of the Bab, when I went there, all of a sudden I saw this building so simple. None of this sharp corner was there. It's all like wavy. It looks totally, it's not a professional job. I said to myself, I'm a contractor. The floor is up and down. But it felt so natural though. It felt so simple. And that, I thought, that's the master. Abdul Baha designed it that way. He wanted it to be like this. From outside, all this glory is so simple. Within is so simple. But people have to get attracted to the complexity only to realize the story is very simple. So, or the car. What is this car business for? I want to be discussing this anyways in future, but why don't we have this just cars, like public transportation all over the city. All these guys, they can make the same thing. Nobody's going to be out of work, but we pay less gas, we pay less this, we pay less that. Just simpler, easier. Why can't we do this? This damn TV in the house, if you cut it down, then people are going to go out of their houses and they're going to talk outside to each other. They communicate. They know who lives in the neighborhood. The fights and most Canadians, they hate their neighbors. They don't tolerate at all. It's amazing. The tolerant society of Canada is made out of so many intolerant people, so sensitive. An Iranian system was the most intolerant society made out of a lot of tolerant people. The Persians are great tolerance they have. They forgive very easily. They don't get offended. Here's simple things you do, they get offended. I found out because they don't communicate, because they watch TV always, one-way communication. Some thought comes to you when you look at TV, but you're not sharing it with anybody, then it dies in you. You keep downloading these things on your head, or the head of it, and you're completely gone. You cut the TV, people go out. I've seen it in Iran. As a kid, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the streets, women, they would come out, they talk about their life, this and that, and kids are playing. It's like a home setting. If you cut this TV, people get out, they talk, they more communicate. They want to know, we come to the reality. These things are so potentially dangerous for the welfare of the humanity that we have to just simply grow. Government of Canada, I believe, chosen by the Canadian democratically, if they know this is wrong, but nobody seems to know it. The psychological impact of the television and the Hollywood has created greatest depression in people, have completely cut down this means of communication and communicating with people. You look at the English people 200 years ago, they were most polite. They were so smiley, so nice, conniving. They were all like salesmen. You see them in the movies even. They were talking, they were great communicators. Look what's happened to them nowadays, to them. They're all completely like one big pissed off face they have. What happened to the English people and the power of the talent? I think I'm going to discuss about this, and I'm not going to go into this right now. So, I talked a little bit today about the human needs, what are the instinctive, how it turns into, desires and then into greed. And what do we have to do? I'm not going to get into the detail of it, then I'm going to have to write down hundreds of books. I don't think I have time, I don't think you need it. Plus, talking so much in the detail, it does not let you to think. If you hear these things and you like to go to communicate with me and talk to me, go right ahead at the website at www.5elders.com. I would be getting your email, or on the website there's a telephone 1-800-607-6940. I don't know when will you hear this, but if it is around this time that I'm still alive, I would respond to you. So the only thing I can see this means of communication is doing today, I'm trying to analyze it to see how best could I use it. Okay, I'm using this video to talk to the people of future. Yes, I can extend my life, because what am I? The talks and the knowledge, so it remains. People can see it later on. This is good if it becomes useful to you as it has been useful to me. This was the part 1 of a practical religion. We're going to talk about how these needs, when it cannot achieve, it will turn into depression and addiction. And we're also going to talk about the entertainment. Man is very big on the entertainment and needs it. This is one of those desires that when you sleep, 8 hours, when you work 8 hours, now there's an 8 hours that you have to do something. What is the good entertainment? I'm going to talk about that in one section, and the other time I'm going to be talking about addictions. And if I get inspired to talk about something else, I'll do it later on. Okay, I've talked enough for this one. May God be with you, and may this be useful. The idea of a person who read Baha'i faith and the collective mind of this Baha'i faith there, it's flourished and metamorphosized into what I said today. It seems it's the fruit that comes, my knowledge, what I said right now is my thought really. It's not, these things are not written anywhere else. It's all brand new that you're hearing it. It's the collection. That is the consequence of what I've read. This is the wisdom I gathered from the writing of Baha'u'llah. The most real thing. I would hate to read and look at the words of somebody just like myself who doesn't need help and who's claim he's the leader of mankind. So I got very much problem with that. There's two type of books I read. Science, scientific book, or the book of God, natural philosophy and divine philosophy. In between, there are a lot of gray area, a lot of people that they're out there to hunt you. Beware of the false teachers, Jesus Christ said. See you next time. Thank you.